is because it's confusing as heck out there. I see more ads, more infomercials, more stuff, more methods, and I am confused. But don't worry, guys. The beautiful thing about wholesaling is it's going back the way it's supposed to be, meaning you actually have to use your brain and you have to make common sense approach to this business. For the last 4 years, you guys have been taught recklessly from people that financially benefit from you hugely by charging you monster coaching courses. It's gotten so bad. There's a coach of all the coaches now, and they're telling anyone who's done 3 or more deals, they can easily become a wholesale coach. And listen, I'm sure at some point they can offer value, but doing 3, 4, 5 deals doesn't make you an expert. If anything, actually, I don't think till you got a couple hundred on your belt that you should even be talking about it. Honestly, I didn't even let Zach say anything till like 4 years into the journey, and he did hundreds of deals. So I'm just here to tell you is you have to go through the journey. If you want to lead people, you actually have to get in their shoes and fight the fight. Unfortunately, most wholesale coaches, specifically wholesale coaches, they fought the fight for maybe one. I saw someone 3 years. They think that's an amazing amount of time. That's nothing. The problem is they taught it during the easiest time during the business. And now that you actually have to figure out how to do this business, there's no guidance. They're just telling you what all the other gurus are telling you. So the good news is I've lived through the whole thing. So let's jump into it. I want to help you guys out. I do not sell fear. And to be brutally honest with you, I don't sell anything. And that's the whole different thing about me and my son is you can come to any of our channels. You can go to Flip with Rick, Zach Ginn, or Rick Ginn, Wholesaling Houses for Real. And we provide you, ready for this, 100% free content. You know why? Because I'm not scared to, because I know what I do. I stand behind what I do. I run a 7-figure wholesaling business. I run it with a small, lean staff. I don't believe in giant overhead. I don't believe in outspending your marketing. And I believe you can do this, anyone who has the will and the way to change. So I made that decision 20 years ago, and my goal to create a legacy to help out as many people in wholesaling as humanly possible, to help them discover the light that they can live the ultimate life that they want to. In the end, we help people out. We create win-win situations, and that's why I love what I do. So guys, let's talk about it. Do you really want to know how wholesaling works, or like, can you handle it? Because I'm just going to tell it to you. So if you guys are new to my channel, I appreciate you tuning on here. As I said, put in the comments you got a question. If you've never done a deal before, I don't care. I've been in your shoes before. And if you really want to hop on and get some one-on-one advice on how to get started, or how do I do my 100th deal, or how do I do this creative financing, you're more than welcome to jump on the one-on-one. You don't have to share your face, but we do want to share the information with everybody watching so we can help them out. So today is just kind of one of those weird days out there, So, but go to freewholesaling.com if you're brand new to this. All I ever ask is for your email. I don't need your coaching money. Let all the other gurus take that stuff. Trust me, they're going to need it. Their revenue's way down, and you guys are the main reason for that. And in today's live, we are going to talk about wholesaling. How does it really work? And why do people make it so complicated? So I'm going to go in and actually I'm going to dive in and put some notes in here. But have you ever noticed that anyone who does a podcast, a YouTube channel, I don't know, a Facebook group or anything like that, is they tell you, you know what, I'm going to go live and I'm going to just give the house away. Well, listen, if you truly gave the house away, why would you even charge for a course? I don't understand that part of it. In my opinion, okay, this is just my opinion. You guys can deem it wrong, but the numbers tell me otherwise. Wholesaling is a basic skill you use to get started in real estate investing. And it's one of those skills, if you could discover it and utilize it and learn how to make money with no money, your possibilities for business, I'm not just talking about real estate, are infinite. Okay. Wholesaling, we make you stress the theory and make it work. And there's not many other businesses that can do that. A lot of businesses, you put a couple $100,000 in there and you see if your fruits of labor come to fruition. The reality is 9 times out of 10, you just buy yourself a job. So I tell anyone who can give me 2 years in wholesaling, I can get them so financially free and so free of their time, but you got to go along with the journey on it. So if you guys are new to this, go to freewholesaling.com. I'll show you how to do everything. But I'm tired of people coming on and saying, "Oh, I want to do live. I'm going to give everything away." And at the end, I'm being pitched the $3,000 and $5,000 course. Here's my favorite. Ready for this? Prices are going up. Seriously, prices are going up. Do you realize what's happening in the economy? Do you realize you have a diluted product that you're looking for X amount of people to buy because they don't know the difference? My job today is to teach you the difference. Wholesaling is a basic skill set I'm going to teach you for free. Not only do I teach you for free, my son's been doing this 5 years. I taught him when I was in high school. And if we can do it, you are no different. So I want you to understand that. So let's get into how wholesaling works. The number one thing is people tell you, hey, we're going to go on this live. We're going to give you free information. The reality is me and Zach are the only ones out there actually giving free information. Okay. How do I know it's free? Because I don't charge you for anything. So I feel more pressure to give you as much information as I can to help you out. When you go to a guru or a coach, their goal is to make it, honestly, they make it as complicated as they humanly possibly can, and it drives me nuts. Wholesaling is actually the complete opposite. I'm telling you, it is not complicated. And I've sat in these courses, I've watched, I've gone to coaching seminars, and the whole job is just to leave you hanging on the edge as long as possible so you keep pulling out like your credit card. And to me, you guys got to wake up, man. That stuff doesn't work anymore. We're in an entire different economy. We're in a different world, and technology is going to move fast. So the guys that sit there and do the pay for play for wholesaling, man, they are so far behind the ball. But like, listen, if you guys want to learn wholesaling like I did 20 plus years ago, go for that method because it never stops. Not only will they have a cold calling program, then they're going to have an SMS program. They'll have a course for that. Then they're going to have a course for this, and it just never stops. And then my favorite part is when they tell you it's evergreen or it's like a lifetime membership. Whose lifetime? Yours or theirs? The reality is a lot of these companies are sold over and over again. Some very popular, old popular wholesaling programs, they've been sold 3, 4, 5 times, and they've been sold amongst the members. Why is that? Because it's all profit driven. If the profits aren't there, they cash it out. And the idea is to take as much money as you can on the run. If they really wanted to build an empire and help people out, they'd do what me and Zach do. It just help people out, worry about the money later. I don't worry about the money because I make money flipping. I don't care. Like, why else would I sit here and take an hour and a half? I spend 8 hours a week going live with you guys. I actually enjoy this stuff. I've been doing it 20 years. So anyways, let's talk about how the game of wholesaling is played. So I'm watching your comments. I promise you I'll answer everything I can on here, and I want you to understand. So number one, first of all, okay, there's only, let me put this on here. What color you guys want? Let's just do black. Okay. There's only 3 phases of wholesaling. Wholesaling real estate. Okay. That's all you guys got to understand. Like, honestly, I'm going to give you, if I had to teach you, I had like 20 minutes. This is the exact presentation I would give you. Okay. So the first one is marketing. Okay. And that's nothing more than your ability to locate motivated sellers. Running out of room there. Okay. That's it. Now, I will tell you, this is probably one of the most important phases in wholesaling. And this is the phase you should learn first. A lot of people will tell you, you have to pay to play in this phase. And I'm here to tell you, you don't. The reason most gurus want you to pay for marketing, you ready for this? Because it's easier for them. If you go out and pay a service $5,000 a month to handle all your direct mail and everything, you're going to make your guru look like a hero. Okay. Now, take me and Zach's approach, and I'll go over the list, everything we want you to do. If I can show you how to make money without pulling no money or very, very little money out of your pocket and skip the guru fee, your confidence will explode. Okay. The catch with the guru is if you're successful with them, the first thing they're going to ask you for is a testimonial. And by the way, this just out, the gurus, they just did a public recording of this. When you're excited about your deal, which you should be, and talk to your guru, they want to record a testimony of you right there in your excited face. You know why? Because they get more sales. Okay. I truly think him or her wants you to be successful. I don't doubt that. But the reality is They're kind of taking credit for what you did. If you used a paid service, what did your guru do? Just point you to the person they paid for? I could point you to those all day long. Like, I'm not going to take credit for you. I don't believe in that. So guys, I'm going to get to that part of it. If you give a testimonial to someone you paid, wait at least 1 year, if not 2 years, before you give the testimonial, and do it authentically and organically without them asking you. And that way we could actually get true reviews on what these programs are. You ever notice you only see the positive, and then you see they're either on the ripoff report or it's extreme positive? It just doesn't even make sense to me. So you are going to learn how to be a marketing expert. You have to master marketing. I don't care what technique it is. If it's on the phone, if you personally visit people, if you mail, you got to do that. The next one is basically acquisitions. Okay. Now, this is important. In my opinion, it's not quite as important as marketing, because without marketing, you'll never get to acquisitions. And then basically on this one, okay, this is where you're going to qualify your sellers and you're going to negotiate. Guys, we're almost done with wholesaling completely. I swear to you, I know this is the above view, but I'm trying to condense this so you understand how simple this business is. Because I see people with you ever seen with booklets like this thick? I'm like, are we going to school or what are we doing? Okay. The third one and the final one is simply dispositions. Okay. And guys, this is exactly what it says it is. This is where you sell and you collect your money. Okay. So there's, oh, I didn't put my screen up here. Sorry about that. I'm new to this. So guys, we have marketing, acquisitions, and dispositions. Do you see this chart right here? This is wholesaling in a nutshell. Now, I agree. There's mechanics that go into it, but I'm here to tell you, this is the mechanics of wholesaling. This is your $5,000 course. So if you want to ask questions about a course, I would start breaking down what are we doing in marketing? How do I pay for the marketing? How much money do I need? And can I do this with no money? Acquisitions. What if I have no experience negotiating? Do you guys have a qualifying method? How do we do it? And then you have dispositions. Okay. This is it. So I'm explaining it as simple as possible. So let's go up to the next part. Okay. Now I'm going to break down how the business really works. Okay. So let's go extreme layman's terms. Okay. So number one, ugly houses. That is your product. If anybody tells you otherwise, they're lying to you. Are there some pretty houses in it? Yes, there is. But for the most part, your biggest profits are going to come from ugly houses. Okay. So, okay, Rick, I need to get ugly houses. So what do I have to do? You have to find them first. Rick, how do I find ugly houses? This is real simple. Okay. The first thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to be a list expert. Okay. If you guys are brand new to this, go over to freewholesaling.com. I teach you how to do the whole thing. You have to gather lists. And when you get these lists, they are your prospects. They're the people you're going to attack. Okay. By the way, these lists can be free. Okay. Here's the lie that's going to be perpetuated to you over and over. You have to pay. Okay. You have to pay for these lists. The only reason a guru wants you to pay for the list is they want to make it easier on them and they want to make it easier on you. But the reality is, if you don't understand how to harvest a list, how to talk to sellers, how to qualify, disqualify, and how to negotiate, you are going to be wasting money right off the bat because you don't have the skill set yet. So now you're going to increase your quantity exponentially because practice makes perfect. But the problem is you're going to be spending between $3,000 and $5,000 a month of your $3,000 to $6,000 a month of your own money, and you're probably not going to get a deal. This is why I absolutely hate when gurus tell you, you got to mail, you got to do this, you got to do that. You don't. Guys, I teach you, Zach teaches you all the time how to go out and get this stuff for free. The first thing is you need to be a list expert and get them for free. Now, how do I do that? Guys, this is simple. Okay. The easiest list for you to create is just go out and do driving for dollars. Okay. I did this when I started. We still do this in our business now. And guys, it is all you are is getting in your car and you're trying to find out as many ugly houses as you possibly can. You guys, if you want, you can use our deal machine app, dmzack.com, or you can just write it on a yellow pad piece of paper. It doesn't matter. Okay. These are your best lists because you cut through all the crap. And what do I mean by that? Is you look at houses that look distressed, you reach out, you skip trace the owner, and then you contact them to see if they want to sell it. They're not even on a list. The only list is on the piece of paper you wrote down. So it's much, much faster. Within 24 hours, sometimes as little as 2 hours, you can be in contact with the homeowner getting a great deal. The next one, guys, I'm giving you the free ones because the gurus don't want to ever talk about this. This is your government list. What are your government lists? That's an easy one. These are going to be your tax delinquencies. It's going to be your eviction list, water shutoffs, pre-foreclosure list, code violation list, I'm just going to end with this because there's actually many more. And your probates. Let me pull that up where you guys can see it. So, guys, your government list and driving for dollars, they're all free resources that most of our members in freewholesaling.com use that, and they collect their first few assignment fees. Now, imagine if you paid a guru $5,000 to $10,000 to teach you wholesaling, and then they told you need to spend another $5K a month. It took you 3 months to get a deal. So it's 15 grand and you paid another 10. That's $25,000 you would have paid. And say you do a wholesale deal and you earn 10K. You're still 15K in the hole. You're going to have to do 2 more deals just to even get even close to break even because you're only going to learn one technique and it's to pay for your marketing and it's going to handicap you the rest of your wholesaling career. So the people that do best in wholesaling, in my opinion, and they're not going to share this to you in any course, are the people that can find out how to do a wholesaling deal with very little to no money in a deal. It's proven over and over. Almost everybody that goes out and pays to get a mentor, pays for coaching, all this other stuff, for the most part, they don't last or like they go wayside. If you guys can figure out how to do this on your own, the way we teach it, you are going to hit it out of the park. I'm just like, it's like no-brainer stuff. Okay, so number 1 is locate the ugly house. Let's go back to number 2. And it is simply connecting with sellers. And the key part about this is motivated. Motivated sellers. Okay? The biggest problem I see with wholesalers today, especially in the last 4 years, they skip this part. They just look for people with houses for sale. That's not what we do. Guys, if you do this, you might as well go get your real estate license. Go do what the other guys tell you. Go get a license and you'll be safe and you'll be free. I'm just telling you, I don't teach that method. I don't know how to be a real estate agent. I would make the worst real estate agent on planet Earth. Okay? You cannot do this. Okay? So if they're not motivated, just like move on with your life, refer them to a realtor and find a way to make it work. So this is the part where we just basically teach you MCTP. Okay. And that is how we qualify customers. It's simple. Every guru is going to give you the most complicated script in the world. And you're going to get frozen when a seller asks you a question out of order. So we teach you MCTP. And I'll just give it to you. It's motivation, condition, time frame, and price. And remember, price alone is not a qualifying factor. Okay. So if all that adds up and it makes sense, you have a great shot of getting a deal. The reality is probably 90% of the people you talk to, you ready for this? Are going to go tell you to pound sand. They didn't tell me that in a course either. It's the truth. And the sooner you understand it, the sooner you grasp it, the better you're going to do in wholesaling. Okay. It is a numbers game up front, but where the number game stops is connecting. Okay. Me and Zach teach you how to deeply connect with sellers to where the point they feel bad if they don't do a deal with you. Your rapport has to go deep. And if you don't know how to do it, I'll show you how to do it. Number one, you got to get rid of your scripts. Scripts are automated. They're designed for virtual assistants and they sound fake. They sound phony and it sounds terrible. If we can teach you how to work the acronym and teach you, you can get through any conversation and teach you how to practice, you will do very well in this business. If you don't practice and you take somebody else's script, by the way, there's a lot of people on the internet that's got a lot of popularity on TikToks and stuff like that. You can use those scripts, guys. I've never seen them actually work, but you're going to have to go with thousands and thousands of people to do it. So MCTP, 90% of the people don't even want to talk to you. That's okay. You just have to qualify them and you have to get through of them. So on this, once we get that, our goal is to get the best price. Why do we want the best price? Because we want to sell it quickly for cash to a rich landlord or a cash buyer. Okay. The only way you can do it is get a low price. Now, how do I get a low price? I teach you on how to go for no. Go over to freewholesaling.com. I teach you how to do it. You guys, if you've learned wholesaling in the last 4 years, I promise you, you didn't even get close to the bottom line price. Okay. You've got to find the bottom line price to get a response. This technique is, I never even see it taught in wholesaling courts. And honestly, it is the meat and the potatoes of everything we do. Okay. And guys, and then the last one, this is just straightforward stuff, man. You ready for this? Sell ugly houses. Okay. Now I want you to understand this. I didn't say rehab, right? No rehab. I didn't tell you to rehab the house. I didn't tell you to fix it up. Heck, I didn't even tell you to close on it. Simply sell it to another cash buyer, either do an assignment, which is the preferable way, or do a double closing. Okay. If you don't know how to do that, go over to freewholesaling.com. I'll teach you how to do that. Guys, this is simply where you sell your house and you collect your money. Okay. So everything I've done is in 3 steps. Okay. So I'm just going to crash course you again. Once again, maybe I'll quiz some of you guys on the live here. Okay. There's only 3 phases to wholesaling: marketing, acquisitions, dispositions. That's it. Each one of those things highlights what skill set needs to be done. If you know your deficit in one of the skill sets you're starting out in wholesaling, be honest and admit it. And that's what we got to figure out. So many of these wholesaling programs telling you like, well, if you're weak at something, avoid it. It doesn't work that way in wholesaling. That's the biggest lie I've ever heard. If you don't know how to talk and connect with people, you're going to have a tough time meeting with sellers. Okay. And yes, you have to master it, because if you eventually want to get out of it and teach someone to do it, how can you teach someone if you've never been in their position? It's almost an impossibility. I don't like to do marketing. I don't like to do data and number like that. You're going to have to understand it, and you're going to have to do it at least 1 year before you can hand off that task. Okay. Last but not least, I don't know how to do dispositions. Fine. It's not hard, guys. Honestly, dispositions is the easiest of it all. Okay. But if you're trying to outsource any of these phases before you've even started, you've already failed in wholesaling. And if you have a guru teaching you to hire a VA from day one and have everybody do this and have everybody do that, and you've never done a cold call, you are going to get run over. It's just the truth and how it works. Now, maybe that guru's done it and they know it well, but you have to walk a mile in someone's shoes to kind of figure it out. Let me ask you this. Would you ever, if you guys had kids, if you were ever going to teach a kid to ride a bike, don't you think it's important you know how to ride a bike? A lot of gurus do not do any bike riding at all. Honestly, they're sitting in a studio. They're making up cute little videos, and they're not thinking about helping you guys out. Everything I do, everything I shoot here, everything me and Zach does is to help you. Okay. 3 phases. Okay. The principles of wholesaling will never going to change. Number one, you buy ugly houses. That's your product. You have to find them. You have to be a list expert, and you can get the lists for free. Driving for Dollars and Government List will fill your pipeline. Okay. Any guru that tells you have to pay means they're lazy and they don't know how to do the free stuff, or they're scared they can't sell the free stuff. It's the truth. In my honest opinion, doing this 20 years, those free lists and the Driving for Dollars has made me more than I've done on my paid list. And quite honestly, they're much more fulfilling. And if you can figure out how to do it early, you'll do amazing things. Okay. Those are all the lists. Remember, if you go in, you spend 10K on a guru, you spend $5,000 a month, 3 months, 15, 25K, you do one deal, and that's your testimonial. You're still 15K in the hole, spending $5,000 a month. You have bought yourself one of the worst paying jobs in America. And I'm just telling you guys got to start understanding this. Stop jumping on these exploratory calls for wholesaling. Wholesaling is a basic concept. I've done it longer than most people that even care to be on the internet, but I don't care. I just want you guys to understand you don't have to pay these $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 fees, because in the end, you're going to have to do the work anyways. And honestly, do you really think they care if you're going to be successful? You don't even know how many people are in the coaching program. You get excited. And here's the key, guys. Okay. You want to know why? The next one's connecting with sellers. MCTP, I've taught you how to do that. I'm also telling you 90% of the people you talk to are the wrong people, and you just got to get rid of them as fast as possible. You guys doing cold calling, you completely understand my logic on that. And the last one is just sell your ugly houses to get paid. That's it. Okay. If you can join me in this 2-year journey, you can sub and hire out as many people as you will, and you will not get the benefit of scaling your business unless you understand all 3 phases of wholesaling. And I would never have somebody work in my business to ever come on as a partner or anything unless they spent, my opinion, 4 to 5 years working every department, aka Zach. So you guys understand, I'm looking for a level of commitment that people that work with me, and you guys should too. So here's the real reason why coaching exists. Okay. I'm talking about wholesale coaches. You ready? So you can either flip these things called houses. A little window. How do you like that one? Or you can flip these things called people, houses. Okay. 330 million people in the United States. There's a lot less houses. I don't know the exact number, but I'm sure, 50 million or whatever. But all these can be done on the internet. You can now do it virtually. And you can charge whatever you want. So which business do you think is going on here? Okay. Guys, I've already told you there's a coach of the coaches. Like, think about that for a moment. I was so good at coaching and wholesaling or real estate. I'm going to teach other people to do exactly what I do. I don't care about their level of experience, because as long as they pay me, that fits my business model. Okay. And by the way, when they say, hey, do you qualify for your program? The reality is, if you have a credit card, you qualify. I see it all the time. So they got a choice. You can go this way or that way. Rick goes this way. So does Zach. I stick to houses. It's what I'm good at. It's what I love. With people, all I'm going to do is help. And I'm not going to charge. Why? Because I think it's antiquated. And if you guys keep following under these same skill sets that you're being taught, like how to learn this business, it's ridiculous. Guys, we're talking about wholesaling. I'm not talking about how to flip a 500-unit apartment complex. Okay, that will come in time. Give me someone who understands the basics of wholesaling, and I can work with them on flipping a 500-unit apartment complex. It's just more zeros and a little bit more due diligence and financing. That is it. That's the only difference. Okay. The reality is it's much easier to turn a business from this because they can harvest and harvest students till they turn blue. I'm going to get off of this here. I can go on all day on this, guys. The reality is they're making wholesaling so complicated. They make it sound like they can't do it without you. And I'm here to tell you, don't buy into it. It's the biggest, it's just junk. So I'm trying to get back here. Let's see here. Okay. So how wholesaling really works, it's just 3 phases and you need to get through them. And then if you have a shortcoming in one phase, you have to spend some more time doing it. I heard someone the other day says, you just hire someone to do that. In the beginning, it won't work. And it just drives me nuts when people do stuff like that. So I want you guys to understand that the simpler we make things in life, the easier it is to learn. And I find the opposite's going on wholesaling. You have people now naming methods after their last name. This is becoming marketing factory. Okay. Listen, I like a good marketing pitch, but I like a good marketing pitch towards my motivated sellers. If I just did marketing pitches to you guys all day long, I'd drive you nuts. What method are we going to keep coming up with next? It's just, guys, stop spending your money on these programs like this. Go out and get some deals, get some discretionary money, and then you can decide what to do. And I'm just telling you, you will do a lot better. It's just like the reality is, do you want to learn how to fish, or do you want to keep going to the market and like overpaying for your fish? Because that's what you're doing, in my opinion, when you're hiring a guru for wholesaling. And here's the thing is, ready for this? Nobody ever qualifies them. Nobody ever asks them a word. And the minute you ask them for a HUD or something and they hang up onto you or say, I don't owe you that information, you got the answer you need. You got the truth. And that's all I want people ever to do. Okay. It's imperative that you have confidence in the person that you're going to hire to do that. The second one, anytime someone tells you seats are limited, they're filling up fast, I'm not sure you're going to qualify, just go the other direction. It is a takeaway tactic. It's taught by all the coaches, and they are completely fueling on your emotional sell. You guys should never buy a wholesaling coaching program based on your emotions. I promise you, wholesaling will get you where you need to go, but a coach is never going to fill a short-term void in your life. So if you're feeling financially distressed, emotionally distressed, or if I don't get a deal in 30 days, my spouse is going to leave me. I couldn't even fix that problem for you. I probably could, but you wouldn't like it. So the reality is, when you see all these marketing pitches of people sitting on the beach trying to flip properties with a click of a computer while they're sipping on a margarita, it's crap. Okay. If you guys buy into the scarcity of limited seating, I see limited seating available on virtual conferences being you got to be kidding me, right? It's absolutely nuts, and you need to pay attention with it. So guys, money's one thing, but number 2, currency, your time and attention is the new currency. And unless you're going to spend it in spots that are actually going to help you out. So stop going to these pep rallies. Okay. They're wonderful people, but if you if you go to a major town and all these speakers come in, so-and-so's an expert, you're not going to be able, you can't ask any questions because it would throw everybody off and you'll be politely asked to leave. Ask me how I know. And number 2, it's a giant pep rally, because we have to get your emotions high, because the higher your emotions get, the more you're going to spend. And when you leave, the guy or gal on stage, maybe if it was someone like me, I guarantee they're going to get one of their students to teach you, and you'll never see them again. That's why they go town to town. That's why it's Upgrade City. And a lot of these conferences that put on for $300 to $500, they're actually losing money at that number. They're expecting some of you guys to do that $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 coaching program. So just understand when you're walking into it, because there's no way you can sit in a conference for like 8 hours and figure out like everything in the business. Like I promise you, there's going to be a gut check on it. So, and last thing, guys, simplify your wholesaling. Like I just gave you, you should be able to break your business down in 3 phases, and you should go, okay, this is the one that I'm struggling in. I need the most help in. And that's where I'm here to help you guys out with it. Okay. And guys, stop comparing yourself to everybody on the internet. You're never going to live up to it. The only person you have to compare is the person you're looking at the mirror. And all I ask is you get 1% better each day. You'll be over 364% better by the end of the year. Think about that. Okay. But we're human nature. You guys look at all the posts. I look at the posts on Wholesaling Houses for Real and I love it. But like not everybody's winning. And I get that. So it's got to fuel you to go through and stop doing, oh, well, he did a deal, made 30 grand. He only did it in 2 weeks. You don't know how long of experience that person's had, and you start comparing, and you know why. That's why they call comparison the thief of joy. You just can't compare yourself. You're never going to win. God did not put us on this planet to constantly compare ourselves with each other. And if you get stuck in that game, you're going to get killed. Okay. I've played it. I know you guys have played it. Just stop it. There's no place on earth or off that you're going to go to the comparison shopping center to see who's better. Okay. It's nothing more than everyone's ego trying to feed each other. I've kind of given up commenting on the internet because I've done wholesaling so long. There's so many keyboard warriors, and guys, just don't get in these arguments. It's a waste of time. So remember, let other people's egos help your business out, because God knows they put it all out there. I saw some posts today. I'm like, wow, that's actually helpful stuff. I can help people out. I can use it for my staff, and I'm going to go ahead and use it. So be aware when people throw numbers out there, you can't verify them. But when you start seeing like addresses and zip codes, you can easily find any virtual market you want. So that being said, I am going to jump on some lives. Let me check the questions here. Guys, the reasons I do these Monday nights and Zach does Sundays, so you guys have more time to connect with us.